there's so much evidence now that they do abuse children and try to take something from them that will feed their own darkness. And I've never fully been able to investigate down that rabbit hole because it causes so much pain. But we have to acknowledge this amount of evil is in the world. And this quote was saying, do you know why they go after the children? And the answer was because a child, a newborn child, a tiny young child exploring his or her world, the innocence of that child is the closest thing human beings have on earth to God in the human race. I think animals can be very godlike. A dog can be very godlike in its unconditional love. But in our human race, that is the part of our humans, arrival here on earth that is the purest part. This beautiful, we all look at a baby, or anybody who's still in their heart space looks at a baby and thinks, what will this little life grow into? The purity, the possibility, the potential. How can I nurture and protect this child? And yet we have a society that's saying, no, we won't nurture or protect our children from, gross visual imagery, from far too early exposure to sexualization, from ideas that are deeply corruptible and managed from above and actually managed from offshore. What has happened to our New Zealand values? And this is where I sit outside the court. I think we all really have to come back to the 10 Commandments, really to look at who we are, to come back to something that has a deep moral code. You can call it your own sense of the divine. I call it God, but it's not a religion. It's not anything I'm going to force on you or, make a manipulative thing out of. It's a deeply personal journey back to your own inner sense of your morality that comes from a divine source that operates on certain principles that we don't fully understand. But those who do wrong to others, as all those bullies did on Saturday, they will have somehow wrong done. It comes back around. And it's not good to put that sort of energy out into the world, Hannah, that they put out on Saturday. That brutalizing of anybody with a sign that had a view that differed from their own. I saw this old man, I just can't get that image out of my head of him holding a sign with such dignity, such quietness, maybe in his 70s he was, and these ghastly women, almost purple in the face and their jowls shaking while they hurled invective at him and stared at him and prodded him, and the things I said earlier made my heart ache. But that's their darkness they've put out, and that darkness they will receive back. I do believe that, Hannah.
Yeah, there's so much in there that I could respond to, and since you've brought it up, I will really reaffirm what you're saying about it's a spiritual war. It really is. And when I say spiritual, again, you can take that kind of, like Liz is saying, as a moral code, or it's essentially your inner world or the invisible world out in the physical world as well. There are things going on that we can't see with the naked eye, but just because you can't see, it's like dogs can hear things that we can't hear. There are things going on, and it is a war for your soul. And the children, the blood of the children is the biggest drug for these people right now. They traumatize these kids, and there's a spiritual quality to the blood that they then consume. That's adrenochrome. And you can go and look up the Hampstead case. There are so many testimonies. I don't recommend it, but if you are one of those brave people and you need to know, then this to me this is the uniting issue that will come to light very soon, because people can argue about the science of climate change or the science of COVID, or they can go back and forth on all these different, or gender, or smart cities, whatever kind of divisive ideas are out there, but nobody in their right mind can ever say that the abuse of a child, that innocent, beautiful, newborn, very young baby, is ever going to be okay. And that is the biggest truth that needs to come out, that this is what this world is run on, and we need to stop this